Yeah, let's get moving. All right, so it is the dawn of your last day here before the Moonless. And Rakota, you know that there is plenty of work to do on the Anapoli itself.
Hmm.
Robert Davies has been incredibly busy over the last three, just kind of pulling in the variety of new hands and resources necessary to run a ship of your size. But despite everything, he seems to have done just that. Already, kind of early in this morning, you see that people have started to arrive in the very empty um, kind of warehouse that your ship has been stored in. Um, and there seems to be a group kind of gathering around Davies. But that's currently kind of what's happening outside the ship. As you all wake up, is there anything you guys would attend to? Oh, somebody's got to use the toilet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
come
gotta
out
use
of
a
the
John.
bathroom.
Okay. In that case, Rokoche, there will be a knock on your door.
All right. Yeah, he'll hobble over to the
Troops
door.
come in.
The Evanescence album that had been blaring at 200% volume will cut as shuffling feet amble to the door. Um, but he will open it expectantly.
Yeah, and when you do, it will be kind of let me see.
It's the fucking enforcer. What was his name?
Yeah, the Imperial.
The Imperial.
He's just waiting.
Sword drawn. He's ready.
You have to invite him in. It's vampire hunting.
Yeah.
Um, and kind of chewing on a cigar is Second Officer Glenn Banks, a familiar fixture to you, one of the old guard, who seems to have found his way back on the ship. And just kind of like giving you the eye up and down, he'll say, "You look about the same."
Let's say, as do you, second officer.
I think I look better.
He'll sort of just tap his fingers on his cane, and he'll say, "So you've returned to sail again with the Anaphilie."
He will just kind of nod a bit, knocking the ash onto the floor, and he will say, "Yep, Davies was pretty persuasive. He even said you needed me."
I'm sure Davies has quite a way with words, and he's not entirely wrong. It helps having someone on board who's already familiar with her.
"I don't need you to say that you need me. I'm glad to be back, Captain."
He'll finally smile at that, and he'll say, "And I am glad to have you. If you haven't already, you might introduce yourself to the additions to our crew."
There's a shot of Crow standing 3 stories down, staring up, arms akimbo, at this stranger ever since the moment he entered.
He will just kind of nod a bit and say, "Yeah, Davies mentioned some troublemakers."
He'll just kind of turn his chin towards the man, and then he'll look down to where Crow is standing, and he'll say, "Troublemakers is one way to put it. Opportunists, another entirely. Some variety to spice up our aging ranks."
"Oh, Captain, if he's trouble, you can just call him what he is. That's what he looks like to me." And he'll just kind of look square at you, Crow.
Uh, Ricote will plant a firm hand on Glenn Banks' shoulder, and he'll say, "He is only trouble for those who would seek to prove themselves troublesome to him. A proud warrior, but he could be something of a lion heart if given the proper chances. You might see a thug, but if you squint, maybe blow some of that cigar smoke farther away from your face, You may see. Oh my god!
I have no mouth, so I must scream.
Holy fuck!
The original image looks like he's kind of eating it, like he's doing a
Yeah.
lemon trick.
Yeah.
I hate the sadness in his eyes.
Yeah, he's got.
Like it's not
They
there.
didn't-
He's
they
resigned.
didn't-
He's resigned.
I get that he's doing a 3/4. You need to push that cigar out a little further past his mouth line. It looks like it's in his mouth.
What would I do for a Klondike bar?
Rakote will say, if you squint, maybe blow that cigar smoke a little farther from your face, you may see something closer to a knight.
He will just kind of look a bit and say, "It ain't that smoky." Fine. We'll all get to know each other.
Crow is lifting a hook and gesturing it to Rakote as if asking a question while this man's back is turned.
Rakote shakes his head no.
Crow leaves.
He will take a moment and say, "Saw Hatter kicking around too. Got all the old guard."
For my content. Oh, here we go. Ooh. I want to know this guy's story.
Didn't get a word out of him. Barely a smile. But he's here and he's reliable.
He'll say, well, that's Hatter for you.
He will just kind of nod a bit and say, "You stalked yet?"
He's asking if the...
This
What is he
ship.
asking?
He will just look behind you for a second and then say, "Your bottle's your personal stash."
He'll look and he'll say, yes, I've already been in town for a day and a half. I wasted no time.
Good, because there's going to be some nights where all of us are going to have to sit down and talk some things out. I haven't been away from this ship long enough to forget.
He'll nod at that and he'll say, and when you're ready, you know I will be waiting.
Of course, Captain. Have to be aboard. He'll just nod and start walking away.
All right. Rakote will wander downstairs to see where. Actually, yeah, he'll go downstairs to see who's all up and
I
ready.
jump out and slit his throat.
Oh,
Got him!
Christ!
I got him, boss.
Infamy up one more.
Yeah, that's all I'm worth. One infamy point.
I got him, Captain.
I'm still asleep.
the pale lady's up. She's up with the dawn.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, everyone can be in attendance if they want to be. It sounds like Rostovan's asleep, but all about you and over the course of today, this is going to be a very busy location.
Sure.
And to that end, I could say that if you guys wanted to, you could spend the day leveling up and staying here. You can obviously create advantages within the ship and things like that, or you can cut out and do things in the city. It's just this is basically the last free day.
Sure. I do. How do you go about doing a level up if I wanted to add a skill to my sheet?
I mean, mechanically, it's as easy as just plugging in the +1.
Okay.
It's kind of like the same thing. If you want a +1, then if you want to pull a skill from +1 to +2, you have to make sure there's space for it.
All right. And where did leveling up go? I know you showed it to
I
us. Is
will
that
show it again.
somewhere?
It's in starting documents.
Character upgrades. Duh.
But in terms of narrative, if people wanted to just spend today leveling up and telling me how your skills went over, if there's anything you wanted to call out in specific.
I'm not leveling up.
Okay.
I'm saving for an additional fate point,
Cool.
which is just one away.
Oh God, I'm so close.
I already leveled up, so I'm gonna hang out at 9 and continue saving.
All right.
I do figure that I will probably stay here for most of the day getting the ship ready. But that being said, I did want to kind of hit the town, and there were a few things that I wanted to try to take care of.
Yeah, what were you thinking?
So I wanted to use contacts to sort of get a beat out and basically gauge our infamy.
Sure.
Um, and my goal is eventually, which I will probably use a contacts to inform a deceive roll. But basically, I want to try to figure out what order I need to roll these in. I want to get a beat out on what the authorities know. And then my goal is to basically, through a couple different avenues, I want to start a rumor that throws
Yeah.
the Imperials off course.
Reduces your infamy level.
Correct.
Yep, that's exactly how this will work. Perfect.
Yep.
I'd say we could basically just roll that into one contacts roll.
Okay.
Um,
Well, because all right. Well, then
are you trying to create advantage?
Yes.
Okay, got you.
Can I create a resources advantage then by trying to bribe people to really spread this rumor and lay it on thick?
Yeah, for sure. I will set. Let's see. Set the challenge at a 2.
Okay.
Because it's quite a bit of people, and especially the mess that Crow ended up creating.
All right. Here we go.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, my what is it? My purse tells a different story or something.
Yeah, there you go. I like that advantage. My purse tells a different story.
Uh-huh. So there are quite a few rumors of a sailor that freed a basically a crab to clean up the docks, and there is quite a few deaths tied up with that. There's also rumors that that same individual was seen absconding with a member of the royalty, along with a pyromancer, if it can be believed.
All right. So that's right on the line between general enough, but then if somebody is able to really get there's one big public stink away from making that worse.
Yep.
So I would like to utilize contacts with that resource advantage to spread this rumor, to basically just throw it off course. And whether that's me saying that I saw something else, or I'm saying, hey, you saw something else, implicating, and anybody else. And we can make this interesting if you want to make that come at a cost of me pissing off some gang or something. Obviously, I wouldn't pick.
Yeah, if you fail.
People. Yeah, great.
Yeah, so let's set the challenge at a 3.
Okay.
You should just make this sound like discredited by making it sound crazy. They were surrounded by sailors, so when people are saying a sailor did it, like, yeah, obviously a clumsy sailor dropped a crab. You're saying he was traveling with a pyromancer? Okay, have you seen any of those?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Perfect.
So I'm gaslighting the town.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Honestly. All right, great. So it's a challenge of 3?
Challenge of 3.
Okay. Woo!
Okay, you will reduce your infamy level by 3.
Excellent.
It goes down to 1.
All right, so I can hit the town and make some more money, making some more trouble.
Mm-hmm.
People tell you their stories, but almost just kind of seeing your face as they do, they realize just how ridiculous it sounds. And a lot of them end up just being quieted and discrediting their own story as they tell it. And the few people that aren't so persuaded, maybe are more so when they see the coin you slide their way.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, those that are really insistent are the ones that I grease the wheels with that resources advantage.
Yeah. Try to almost just Seems like it is. Another story that comes and goes. The Port of the Nameless is no stranger to that.
Yeah. I think kind of building on to what Declan said, Rakote will just sort of use the atmospheric storytelling that, it hasn't, it's, I don't want to say it's not exciting here because you've got people bringing in fucking giant crab monsters and whatever else, but, people are bored, they're spreading rumors, it's easy to want to believe something so fantastic as another, famous sailor and pyromancer duo going around lighting the town on fire, but that's just not the case.
And last night's storm, how?
Right, hey, there you go.
Yeah, easy enough. That's kind of the consensus they come back to. Bad night to be a pyromancer.
Yeah.
Kind of what people settle on before eventually just going about their own way. The story has been done.
I think that'll inform my +1 deceive that I just added to my sheet.
Oh, there you go.
That'll tie in where Rakote learned to fib.
Yeah. You learned a valuable lesson, how to lie. Control the willing public. It's very good.
Yeah, the Final Fantasy level up music plays and Rakote smiles.
Okay, perfect. In that case, Rakote, you spend your early morning at least kind of addressing these crowds. Is there anything anyone else like you could get to today?
Yeah, I guess I should go see Carl Linnaeus, huh?
If you want to. You really don't have to.
I feel like if we could retroactively say that Rakote reminded me, because I would like to pursue that, but I feel like the Pale Lady's so, I don't know, airbrained sometimes.
He's enough of the group dad that he probably would. He'd harangue you about it.
Great.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
It looks like Rakote too, Alex.
No!
He's gotta get
that boils.
He's got that hunched shape about him.
Oh. Yeah, I'll, on Rakote's request, I'll go see Carl.
I just need to say this. Honestly, I am a little retarded.
Oh God. You can't say that. All right, perfect. The Pale Lady will find her way to the north end of the city. Is there anything anyone else would like to do while I set up? I just kind of want to see where people are so I can jump between everybody.
Yeah, we'll do a quick one of them quick split episodes. We got an A through a D plot. I'm going to Crow starts thinking of, he's rewarded through operant conditioning. As he retrieves money, things go along faster. So now he's self-motivated to get money.
I love it.
Get the fuck off this island. So he hears about officers who he can beat up, upending merchants' tills who have money, and he puts two and two. You see two coconuts get connected, and so he heads to Uptown with his spear in hand.
All right, he'll head up north, and then Rostavan.
He thinks about going to a doctor, and then he realizes that's probably a bad idea at this point, so he just stays on the ship.
Okay. In that case, we will have there. So let's do these in rapid fire and see how the city plays out. Pale Lady, you arrive at the kind of estate of Carl Linnaeus. A simple fixture, but one that he's spent quite a bit of money gussying up. A barred gate stands in your way, but it is easily overcome as there is no lock currently situated on it.
There's like a shot of her out front holding a soggy card that she remembered that she had. It's very smudged at this point as she looks over the estate and steps inside.
Yeah. There is, of course, an attendant who is immediately off-put and terrified, who screams. But Carl Linnaeus, looking over from his table at his breakfast, will just say, "Mary, there's no need to shout. It's the Pale Lady, the Siren, the Mother of Sleep.
Yes.
Have you eaten, dear?"
Recently.
He will smile and then be like, "Are you hungry?"
Yes.
She will just say, "Mary, make something appropriate. What does let your whimsy follow you?" He'll say as he just kind of like rolls his head a bit.
This poor woman, she deserves better.
Yeah, Mary's gonna look at you and be like, try to gauge what the fuck she's supposed to do. And she'll just say, "Does the ma'am have any particular appetites?"
Fish is fine.
"That I can do, ma'am."
Rats, if you have them.
Or rats. She will kind of shake a bit and say, "I should hope not." She will head back to the kitchen to prepare for you.
They were not so bad, she says, looking back to Carl.
He will just say, "Please, sit. I am so grateful you took my invitation. I didn't think you would."
The pale lady looks very uncomfortable sitting in a seat that's not really made to hold her, and she's still taller than Carl on in sitting position. And she will say, "The captain reminded me to come."
He will just kind of nod a bit and say, "Ah, Rakote, a punctual one, a
Yes,
strong mind, a sharp wit."
yes.
He will just kind of nod, seeing that all of this is lost, are already found on you. You know the man. He doesn't have to explain this to you anymore.
He seems to think it is important, and we cannot leave the shore yet.
He will just say, "Well, he's probably just doing me a favor. I'm an oceanographer, a studier of the ocean, the seas. And you're a prime example of just that."
She'll kind of quirk her head.
A creature of the ocean. And
Yes.
and one who can still use words. You do not know how rare that is. He
Hmm.
will just kind of lean forward and say, "Which is why I would put some questions to you about the nature of things and what you've seen in that deep dark."
Very well. I will answer the questions for you as I can.
He will just like look like a kid on Christmas. He can't believe his luck as he just kind of like tidies up a bit and says, "All right, the important one. The bottom of the ocean. Have you ever seen it?"
I'm gonna assume no.
No way in
Yeah.
fuck. There, it is impossible. Never, never, ever. He would sooner be dead and like crushed underneath the pressure and the bends itself.
In my current state, it is impossible. The ocean is far too deep.
But is it bottomless? He'll say, kind of squinting.
I cannot say. Though the further down you go, it is said that the spirits of all who have perished lie there. They swim eternally in the darkness.
The colony, the drowned
Yes,
colony. Yes. If only I could ask them.
but you cannot, because they are merely fish.
He will just kind of look at you and say, "I, I'm sure they live as fish."
It is hard to say.
"Which part?" He will say, kind of looking at you.
As it was told to me, they return to the sea, and they live as fish. But it is not as if I have spoken to them. They do not retain themselves, as far as I understand.
Then what makes you special? There must be something.
Well, I am not dead.
I should hope not.
Yes, so I am not among them. I am also not among the living.
Then you understand my confusion.
A great fish gave me this gift. In its dying breath, saved me from this fate, and in doing so, I return the favor. I carry out its will.
My lady, I must be honest. Word of you is not always so bright.
Yes,
There are people who call you a parasite.
well, they have not seen what I have seen, nor do they understand the depths of the ocean. They fear it, as most mortals will. The end. I represent the end, and it is my purpose to alleviate the fear and help show them that it is not an outcome they desire. To not exist is better than to eternally exist in darkness.
Oh, my dear, I must disagree with you wholeheartedly. Existence is everything. It's what allows us to have this conversation. I would not trade it for anything.
You would
Even
not have a conversation if you were a fish.
No, but I would have my mind, my thoughts, the time to think.
Are you sure?
Of course, it is our gift to be rocked in the arms of the ocean, to lay down to peace in that eternal blue.
A mind is not meant to churn forever, not like the sea. As the years go by, you will lose more and more of yourself until madness is all that is left, and then eventually nothing.
You are making quite a few suppositions. You haven't even talked to the colony. How could you speak on such authority?
Because it was told to me.
By a fish.
Yes,
Oh, yes, Mary, just put it on the table. And he'll just kind of wave a hand as you see Mary enter from one of the wings and place a kind of a platter of fish and bread in front of you.
I'm
the pale
sorry.
lady will pick up the fish.
I'm sorry. I thought this was just a hookah smoking session. I think I'm in the wrong place. I'm just going to. Valfonte politely excuses himself from the meeting.
Oh my god.
He puts his hookah thing back, and he buttons his coat over his "I love hookah" shirt.
I'm sorry, dear. That's my top man.
My top guy. Why are you sorry?
He says, "I'm sorry, dear. That's my top." She just blinks one eye at a time.
We can't all be as lucky as Rakote. Promenading about. He heard the rumors. He knows who you got. So
You wouldn't think it to look at me. However, I have too many family issues to be a bottom. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I'm an enigma.
Yeah. Pale lady will bite into the fish, like she was eating something off of a spit roast.
Yeah, he will just seem a bit more dour, a bit more defeated as he considers what you've told him. And he will just say, "Is this the only outcome?"
In what way do you mean?
You are the ocean.
Yes. I'm sorry if that is disappointing to you. It is to many, and that is why they reject it. It's why they would call me a parasite, because it is a difficult truth to hear. Though you would be granted time to think for a while, eventually, time is meaningless.
I am not defeated, dear. This is disappointing, but the ocean is big. Bigger than the two of us.
Yes, and
That's
full of many
Go ahead.
incredible creatures, like the one who saved me.
Which is exactly why there may be just as many endings. I won't lose heart over this, though I appreciate your perspective.
Of course.
For the time being, I think I will simply offer you a fine charcuterie if you should ever wish to join me again.
She will kind of blink one translucent eye at a time and say, "You will likely be gone by the time I return, if I should return."
I will be at Mission Hill.
Very well.
He will just kind of nod. There'll be plenty of just kind of like conversing, fine, like small things, and him just trying to understand you and your place in this world.
Hmm.
But is there anything else you would ask of him?
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, then it'll be a kind of a simple thing as Mary attends to you, and Carl just thinks of the ocean deep looking out his window. Which we will use to jump to Crow as her eyes pass east towards the Merchant District.
Yeah, he is looking as much as he can like a normal citizen of the port.
Yeah.
And he is keeping an eye out. He's just sort of posted up in a corner, inconspicuous, and is watching for this word that's out on the street about decorated officers bullying merchants.
Declan's coming in a little bit.
Yeah,
I was going to say, is he breaking up for anybody else, or is it just me?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's okay, it's just the Wi-Fi.
Society transform. I'm going to look at this horrifying Joker image, which I did not see. This shit sucks. Badass Joker. Jesus Christ.
So bad.
He's so badass.
Also, is the photographer the guy in the Batman costume, or
I hope not.
was he just there?
Also, Batman's about to beat the shit out of you. You're smaller now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Web pages
Okay.
are loading.
All right. Crow, you are waiting for some type of word from the merchant's quarter, and you do not have to wait long. When at the farther southern end of this row, you hear a voice shout out, "Deal only in the King's silver, or you'll be dealing with ours." And you see a gold shirt that holds up manacles, just kind of like presses them into the eyes of the merchants that flank him on the left and right. Before his kind of buddy, there's two of them. The other one will move forward on a man and say, "There's a lot of word about false coin, fake coin. Heard anything of that?" "No, sir, I can't say that I have." "Are you certain?" Yes, sir." "I would like to take a look. Can I do that?" "I'm going to do that." And he will look into the tills. And you will see them just starting to kind of paw through regarding the crowns inside. And then he will look over to his friend and say, "There's a bit stuck at the bottom." "Well, we're supposed to check everyone, aren't we?" "I guess so." And he will pour it out, and you will see him kind of like moving it with his feet a little bit. "No, that looks like the real thing." At this point, Crow, are you doing anything?
Yeah, he's going to approach as a coin hits the brick.
Yeah, there's kind of a big circle at this point. You can see that this man has been chosen to be kind of the example that they measure all of the other merchants by. And the two gold shirts just kind of stand over the man as he begins collecting the coin back in his hands. They're going to continue speaking unless there's anything you want to do right now.
He's going to listen for a moment longer.
Okay. The kind of the taller one, the one that initiated this, will say, "Do you charlatans know the damage you've done? A few fake crowns can ruin a market. Thousands can destroy an empire." And he will look again, and there will be no one who says much until one man just says, That doesn't seem right." No, it doesn't. But what happens when people have hundreds of crowns and nothing to spend them on? Starvation, violence, civil unrest. If there be a loyal person here, then speak what you know.
What hast thou found?
The thinner gold shirt, the leader, will turn to you and say, "Nothing just yet, today, but there have been successful inquiries before this one. False coin," he'll say, and he will hold up an example of it. And at this distance, it looks the same as any other.
Crow is approaching, guided by his shoulders, mainly, and he says,
Thou produceth nothing thyself.
He will just say, "I don't press coin. I'm not even a coin guard. I am a gold shirt, and it is my duty to make sure that any illicit coin is returned. And that the people responsible," he'll say, looking around, "are put in the stockade."
And thou findest.
he's going to step in closer and just get directly into the man's personal space, like go face to face, like nose past nose, and say,
None.
He will push the coin. He has the vestments of authority, and as such, he's going to press the coin directly into your chest. He will say,
I take it.
yeah, he will say, "That coin was just one of many. Presented by Aaron Meager," he will say, kind of looking around the crowd. "One of your very own. And I find it hard to believe that none of you knew what he was up to."
So who... I lose track of the various... The Rat Island had about 4 kings, so I
Yep.
lose track of which king out here is which and who the gold shirts are for and who the
Yeah.
armor man is for.
Yeah, so everyone that you just referenced is working in service of the monarchy. That is like the actual king. Like the one people recognize is... Let me find it real quick. Here we go. If you look at People of the Shallows, the Court of His Innocence, King Guillemay IV. That is the de facto king. The one that everyone recognizes. If you said that, it would not be controversial at all. He rules over the Shallows and basically the entire islands that you would be traveling over the course of this campaign. The gold shirts maintain his laws. The Imperials that you ran into are more of a direct line to the king, but they still serve the same one, King Guillemay.
So the Duke's, what was it, I say banker, but I feel like I didn't get the right term.
Yep. Yeah, that's fine. Banker
Okay.
works. Yep.
So the news that the Duke's banker is out here with counterfeit is relevant to them.
Yeah, that is no one would fucking believe that, but yeah, that's crazy. That's like the person, that's as if the bank were printing its own money and then throwing it up and saying, "Who did this?" Like the FDIC, the ones that are supposed to make sure that money is legitimate and services the empire. Like that is that person's job.
Crow lowers the counterfeit back to him, and I would like to provoke him into abandoning this line of inquiry, torturing these merchants every week, using actually the remaining free invocation on the Morton family's suspicious wealth.
Okay.
And say,
Thy inquiry lieth not with the peasant merchants of this square. Morton family, banker of the Duke.
The kind of shorter gold shirt will look at the taller one and say, "That's not the first time the Morton family's come up." "No, it's not, but what would the sailor know about it? What credentials do you have? Or evidence?"
functioning brain.
He will just scoff a bit and say, "Sailor, you've said enough. Now go buy whatever frilly thing you came here for and leave us." But you can go ahead and give me a provoke just to see if he does end up leaving these people alone. Guess what? He does. Yeah, challenge of 2. As you see that the shorter of the gold shirt seems to kind of like tug on the shirt of the other and say, "There are other wings to investigate, people to inquire after. We haven't found anything here. Let's move on." And the taller gold shirt will continue to look at you plainly, Crow. He will say, "Yeah, fine. This place stinks of fish. Be glad to be rid of it." He will spin that last line, "smells of fish," kind of like directly at you as he turns his heels and walks away.
I bite him on the back of the neck.
Oh, fuck! Infamy raises 2.
What, you think a grown man bit another grown man?
A gold shirt, no less.
Well, what do you think, Andrew Jackson?
Wait, what is he? So what is he on
I
the 20?
say, let him go!
He's got a $20 bill.
An
He's on the
American
$2
$20.
bill.
Yeah.
Is that one? God, what is the $2?
I have
What
no
do you
idea.
think, Harriet Tubman?
Oh, fuck, he's got Tubmans? Oh,
He's got
shit.
the Tubbs.
Tub.
Oh wait, yeah, it's who's on the 20? Is
Andrew
it Hamilton?
I don't remember. I think Jackson's on the 2, and
It's
it's
my
got
dad.
sign of Declaration of Independence on the other side. That's all I remember. But there is a kind of a quiet moment as all of these merchants watch the gold shirts walk away. And then the merchant who was kind of being bothered the most will look up to you and just very plainly say, "Thanks. It's the second time they've been back. If I can spend even one day not having to worry about it." And he'll kind of dust his pants off. "All the better it'll be."
Should not return.
He will say, "Yeah, I wouldn't think so. Sending them after the Mortons. It's gonna be a goose chase."
Nay.
He will give you kind of like a questioning look before nodding a bit. And then he will hold out his hand, and inside of it will be some of the dirty silver that was kicked over.
Crow has no hesitation in taking it. This was an intended transaction.
Yeah, everyone can add 1 crown. You hear that from 10 miles away.
Wasn't Sean 1 crown away from his fucking?
Yeah, he was.
You see the level in the far distance, a fucking beacon of light erupt
Yeah,
into the night sky.
Hold
a
on.
fucking torrent of fire.
Scream, please. We need the scream.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Declan ends
yeah.
with that scream. So good.
Perfect, actually. It's like Mona Lisa's smile. It works for anything.
And you will see, I'm going to give the aspect of friend to the merchants, or like friend to the merchant quarter up here for you, Crow, of all people.
Crew, the fucking people's champ.
Yeah.
The proletariat victory of Crow.
Should we like put that on the map?
Yeah,
the
putting it
sector?
on right now. Yeah. There you go. So if you ever come back here, you have an aspect to tap. But you will... Go ahead.
I would like to create advantage
Sure.
For Rostovan's medical role by investigating to try and find a proper sling for him to keep his arm in.
I don't think that's too hard. I might put the challenge at a 1. There you go. Okay, very nice. Yeah, I mean, you've already been through this area looking for all your various implements, so you know exactly where to turn.
Alright, then I put it on to make fun of him. I want Rostavan to know that I could give it to him, but I want it for me.
It's got a
I
real
make eye
Napoleon
contact with
vibe.
you and I keep walking.
I mean, it's the merchant quarter. It's easy enough. You come away with plenty of bandages and a splint, all of which are easily stowed away in your pack sack. And kind of leading back into that, Rostavan, you were sitting astride the Anaphalidi, correct? Okay. Your rest has not been a quiet one, given as it is that the entire ship is being prepared to leave tomorrow. So there is not a moment that passes by when someone isn't marching downstairs, transporting some type of ludicrous barrel, or just dealing with the top masts and knots. So what are you doing?
I'm probably carving my name into the wall on the cod that I'm at.
Perfect. As you are kind of carving, are you actually going to carve your name out? I gotta ask.
He's probably drawing weird shit.
Okay.
Strange symbols.
As you are drawing these arcane symbols, you feel a set of eyes upon you. It is undeniable.
I look over and I go, "What?"
You look, and right where you'd expect the eyes to be, there is nothing. But then you adjust your eyes down about 3 feet, and then you see this creature staring up at you.
Oh, fuck.
Fish pug.
Oh, fuck me. That
Fuck!
sucks.
Oh my god, I love it.
Rustfon holds the knife out, aimed at the creature.
The creature sits.
You what? Stay away from me, Al.